Hi, everyone. Welcome to this portion of the UA Clicks presentation. I'm Laura Gronewold, and I am the Internship Instructor for undergraduates in the College of Public Health. I'm excited to be here with you today. I'm going to be referencing some notes over here, so if you see me looking to the side of the screen, you'll know why. I have been with the College of Public Health for about a year. I've worked at the U of A in the past in the Honors College and in the English department. I also worked in the community at Ben's Bells Project as the Director of Education there, and I supervised some U of A interns. So I've got a lot of experience both in higher ed and in the community, and I really love helping students with pre-professional experiences and translating the skills that you learn from the classroom into applied work in the community. So I am a resource for you. I work closely with the advising team and love working with them. Together, we will help you think about what is the best semester for you to pursue your internship, potentially splitting your internship over 2 semesters versus just 1 semester. So we're all here to support you. And I'm here today to talk a little bit just about some classroom expectations and some other things that hopefully will help you feel really prepared as you get started this fall, in fall 2020. And this is really going to be talking about academic success. So we are here for you, we're here to support you, and we want to equip you with the resources so that you can fine-tune your skills to really succeed here at U of A. So the classroom expectations, there's going to be a classroom etiquette in every class. Hopefully this will not be that different from your high school experience or your post-high school experience if you've taken some time off or if you've gone to community college. There's some things that should cross over in a lot of different social situations, but really pay attention to each professor for each course for the classroom etiquette because they should go over that. And if you have any questions about it, definitely ask them about it. What we mean by civil discourse and respect for differing views is that we want to create a space in the College of Public Health to challenge ideas and to think differently and to evolve as scholars and students and thinkers and community workers who are going out to take public health to new levels, to broaden its reach, and to really improve outcomes for everyone. So civil discourse means listening. It means listening thoughtfully and then responding thoughtfully, and trying not to react, but to respond. Every class and professor is unique, and the expectations will differ class by class in terms of email, syllabus, grading, communication, office hours, classroom behavior guidelines, and course management systems, D12 versus Blackboard. Just as an example, some professors are not going to mind at all if you have food in the classroom, and others will not want you to bring any food in at all. So hopefully they'll go over that on the first day of class or at the beginning of an online class, but always, always ask if you have any questions. More on class environments. So I want to talk about some new class environment distinctions that have been made for fall 2020. There's going to be a lot of different classes that you'll be exposed to, not just this fall, but as you move throughout your classes at U of A. So we want to make sure that you understand the kinds of classes that you're taking. So in person, quite simply, this is the most sort of traditional definition of the class at the University of Arizona. Students and instructors attend a class in person with enhanced health protections. That's for this fall in particular, but probably going forward as well. For this fall, those enhanced health protections are going to include wearing face coverings and decreasing the classroom density. So you will not be with 500 people in a lecture hall this fall. That's not going to happen because that density is something that we've been working on all summer. Flex in person, this enables students to participate in a mix of in-person and online modes. So you may be in a rotating group that alternates between in-person and online meetings. And you might have to follow your course schedule even more carefully because you might be in class some weeks or some days of the week and doing online learning on the other days. So you may participate in your lectures online and do your labs in person. That could be a writing lab, science lab, or the exact, whatever it is, the exact mix of in-person and online will be determined by your instructor, and again, should be clarified in the early days of class but don't hesitate to ask your professor or your instructor any questions. Live online classes, a lot of you will have those this fall. The instructors and the students are online simultaneously, and your instructor provides content in a live online platform. And then an I-course. The majority of coursework in an I-course is going to not require you to be online at the same time with the instructor or even with other students. It's sometimes called asynchronous learning. So you'll complete your coursework through D2L. You'll get to choose when you do the work during the week, and then you will still have similar learning outcomes, but you'll just do the work in a different way. Other information about class formats: regular classes are the full semester, and then 7-week accelerated classes. You get the same content that you would in a full semester, but you do it in a shortened amount of time. And these include summer, winter, and dynamically dated classes. And note that these classes will not appear on your class schedule until they begin. This is an example of a weekly schedule and how you read it. This is how you'll see it in U-Access, including online classes, which are viewed below. Keep in mind that your 7-week classes, again, don't appear on your schedule until the correct week of the class. Okay, technology in the digital classroom. You're going to be doing this through D2L, Desire to Learn. We all call it D2L. This is our course management system, and you can access the content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from any computer. You will log on to the platform by putting d2l.arizona.edu into your search bar. Then you'll see that you have this option to click the UA Net ID login. You'll always want to take that option. And a note is that faculty will be able to see how long and when you've accessed your D2L. So that's just a good note to keep in mind. When you see this screen, this is what you will type in your UA Net ID and your password. And then you will get logged on to D2L. And this is an example of a D2L page. This is the toolbar at the top here that you can see on the D2L page has changed a little bit, but I'm going to go over the main categories because it's really important to know what you'll find in each of these categories. So the content category is where you will find all the important content. So you should find any videos or readings that you have to do there. You might find assignment sheets there. You will find links to outside websites or trainings that you have to do there, other coursework. You'll also find usually the syllabus. There's often a getting started module on that content page. So that's where you kind of your go-to start place to find all of the information that you need. It should be housed there. Then there is this option called assignments. Now this used to be called Dropbox. Now it's called assignments. And this is where you will submit any assignment that you have due. So within assignments are Dropboxes. And I do want to distinguish between the Dropboxes on D2L and the website dropbox.com. So your D2L Dropbox is here within the D2L learning platform. Dropbox.com is a separate storage site on the cloud that you may choose to use. Many students do to back up their files. But your Dropbox here for assignments is electronic storage space for you, and all of your submitted items for your assignments are date and time stamped. Then you'll find a discussions tab. That's where any of the online discussions that you'll participate in will be found. You'll also have a quizzes tab. This is an online tool that your instructor uses for quizzes and exams and homework, so make sure you're familiar with that. Grades, you'll find the grade book as well as individual grades. That's also where you can go and find any notes that your professor or instructor has left on the specific assignments that you have submitted. The class list is really important. You can email anyone in the class right from that class list, so that's really handy for getting in touch with classmates. And there's also a way you can set your notifications, and you can receive instant notifications about course events. You can receive daily emails about recent activity for your courses, daily summaries with updates on your courses, quizzes, discussion messages, deadlines, that sort of thing. And you can select that all notifications are sent 48 hours prior to a Dropbox deadline. So that might be helpful just as something to jog your memory, make sure that you are getting everything submitted on time. And then the other thing to note here is you'll see the letter icon kind of at the top of the page there. And that is your way of sending messages from within D2L out of D2L. So you start in D2L and the message goes out. These are send-only messages. So you cannot reply from D2L. You'll reply from your regular U of A email account. There's also online rooms in D2L that your instructor may use. They will set this up for you. They will email you a link or provide any information for it on your course D2L site or through email communication. So just note that that is another feature of D2L. This is an example of the content page and a start here or getting started module. You'll see that we've highlighted the course syllabus here. This is really important. You want to find this right away in any course. Your instructor or professor may go over this, but it's always a good idea to familiarize yourself with this as soon as you can, and you might even be able to before the first day of class. So what is a syllabus? It is a statement of intent and serves as an implicit agreement between the instructor and the students. So essentially it's a contract between the instructor and the student, and just like a contract, it can be modified. Sometimes instructors need to alter the syllabus to reflect changes in the field of study, emergencies, dates, guest speaker changes, changing deadlines. Instructors are allowed to change the syllabus as long as they give you notice. So again, a great example was last spring. Partway through the semester, classes went online. So I modified my syllabus so that students would know that presentation that was supposed to be a group presentation was now an individual presentation. And I had highlighted things on the syllabus to make it really clear, but just know that the syllabus is a contract, but it's also a working document. So you want to be checking in with it. You want to be asking your faculty member if you have any questions about it, especially at the beginning, but even as the semester goes along. The other thing with syllabus notes is that it applies to everything you do inside and outside the classroom and online. And the individual instructor syllabi will outline their specific expectations. So some important information to look for on your class syllabi. The instructor's name and contact information, that should be at the top. It will also give you a time. So if you have a live online class or an in-person class, you'll see the time listed up at the top of the syllabus. It should also list information about office hours. This is a time where your instructor is free and available to talk to you about coursework, exams, your progress in class. You can ask them questions about other things that are relevant to the class and the material. And it's really a chance to get to know the instructor and the faculty member. We really encourage you to attend your office hours during this time because you know that's when the faculty are available. And you'll see right there on the syllabus what that availability is. And if you want to talk to them outside of these office hours, just send an email and make a request and let them know what you're interested in talking about. Another piece of information that I always like to share is try every semester to get to know one of your faculty really well, because you want to build a team of mentors over your time at the U of A, people that you can ask for advice, that you can ask for letters of recommendation. So start with your first semester or start whatever semester you're in with really starting to get to know one faculty each semester. It's a very doable goal. Even over fully online classes or iCourses, you can do this and challenge yourself, and your advisor can help give you advice on how to approach faculty if you have questions about that. Other information you're going to find on the syllabus, the textbook and required readings, and again on the D2L page, if they're available there, they will be on that content page. The requirements for the course, the assignments and the exams or the specific papers, any of the expectations will all be listed there clearly on the syllabus. There will also be a listing of grading, the points, the percentages, if there's a final exam, specification about the final exam, specification about attendance and absences, and details on late and incomplete work. These are going to vary from course to course, so make sure you're paying attention to each of them and that you ask your faculty member if you have any questions. More notes on the syllabus are about classroom behavior. Pay attention to this because each faculty member will try and create a community that is in keeping with the content and with the goal for their class and what they want the students to get out of it. There's also going to be information on your syllabus about accessibility and accommodations. And there will also be information about the Code of Academic Integrity. Now, the Code of Academic Integrity, a definition of this is it's our principle at U of A that stands for honesty in all classwork and ethical conduct in all labs and clinical assignments. We expect that all UA students act with honesty, integrity, and ethical behavior in class and on all academic work. So whether you are in a fully online class, a hybrid class, or a fully in-person class, we expect this honesty and ethical behavior in all of your work. Students who engage in academic dishonesty diminish their education and bring discredit to the entire academic community. We take this very seriously. At U of A, you can find the Code of Conduct on the Dean of Students website. And some examples of violations of the Code of Conduct, the common academic integrity violations that occur include some that I'm going to go over. And it's important to note that sometimes these violations are not intentional. They're not deceitful. They can be unintentional, but they are still a violation. And so really the responsibility is on you to understand what these things are, what these concepts are, and hopefully they are all familiar to you and you will just be revisiting this. So plagiarism includes not doing your own work, not properly acknowledging your sources, or reusing your own work for another class. Again, any questions about this, ask your faculty member. I teach writing classes and I have found that sometimes students really don't know how to cite their sources and really don't understand the difference between paraphrasing, summarizing, quoting, and analyzing. So ask about that so that you have that clear. Also keep in mind that citing yourself in a paper and not referencing yourself does not count as plagiarism. Self-plagiarism is also turning in previously written work for a new assignment. So if you have a class assignment in one class and you turn in the same assignment, that would be considered plagiarism. Unauthorized group work, if your class requires it, be sure you understand the parameters that your instructor has provided for your group work so that you're meeting all those expectations. Cheating and fabrication includes cheating notes, looking at another's work during a test, or creating false documents. Facilitating academic dishonesty is assisting others or helping others commit academic dishonesty. So that could be doing an assignment for someone else or sharing, letting somebody cheat off one of your assignments. It can also involve paying for services on a website. There are many for-profit opportunities to facilitate academic dishonesty. Just don't use them. Some examples are notehall.com and facebook.com. Other examples of academic dishonesty include buying and selling assignments. So whether it's for profit or not, using note sharing sites, tutoring services, online paper mills, archives from clubs, or social media or social organizations. So really the bottom line is we are here to learn and we want to help you do that. And we really want you to take pride in your own work. And if something is using or challenging, ask so that you don't feel that you need to resort to one of these measures where you would be tempted to violate the Code of Academic Integrity. Finally, I want to talk really quickly about intellectual property, which is something that you or others have created, papers, group projects, etc. And U of A does use a software program called Turnitin to assess whether or not a student has plagiarized on a paper. Most, if not all, the papers you write at U of A will be screened for plagiarism through this site. So if you need help, you can find a plagiarism resource on the Dean of Students, and these are often on your course syllabi as well. So look for those, ask your instructor, and the instructor, if plagiarism is detected, will assign a sanction. That means a penalty or a consequence, which can range from a simple warning to recommending full expulsion from the U of A. A violation and a sanction are documented and records are kept at the Dean of Students office. Students who have multiple violations, 2 or more, could be assessed with additional sanctions from their college deans. If a student feels that the violation and sanction are unjust, they have an opportunity to appeal that decision. But remember that violating the code can have short and long-term consequences. The information that is sometimes required to be disclosed, this information is sometimes required to be disclosed when applying for graduate school or jobs. So we really want you to take this seriously. Okay, now on to more straightforward, lighthearted part of the syllabus. This is going to be the course schedule. You'll note that they all have a subject to change statement. I talked about that. Sometimes things come up and there are reasons that an instructor has to change the syllabus. So just make sure you're staying in touch with what's happening week to week in your course, and pay attention to your deadlines. You can see that the instructors will be very specific about, for instance, when a quiz opens or when it closes. Additional syllabi comments and contents. For more information in general about syllabi, you can refer to the undergraduate syllabus policy, policy.arizona.edu/academics. Dean's excuse policies, professor sets their own absence policies and they'll let you know what is or is not acceptable, but Dean's excuses are used for official university business. So if a student is going to miss a class because they're going to represent the university in some capacity, they're usually given a Dean's excuse from that they may present to the faculty member. However, Dean's excuses do not guarantee that students will be allowed to miss class time from any class. So if you have one, you still need to talk to the professor in advance. In fact, well in advance. So if you come to a professor and you've missed an exam and you say, oh, but I have this Dean of Students excuse, the professor is obligated to let you repeat that exam. So you need to talk to them ahead of time. And they will let you know whether they will have that excuse or not. You can also present a documentation for medical excuses. And again, these things will be documented on individual syllabi by faculty members. With exams and breaks, you want to make sure that you keep in mind your exams and your classes and that you do not book any travel when you might be expected to be there for an exam or a class presentation. I want to say one last thing, which we don't have here, about the Disability Resource Center, and that is that we encourage any student who so chooses to affiliate with the Disability Resource Center. There's a short form that you can find at drc.arizona.edu/students/connect. And once you fill out that form, an access consultant from the DRC will be in touch to discuss potential accommodations, and every faculty member should have a statement about the DRC on their syllabus as well. So please continue on now to the next module, and thank you so much.